You and I are going to have a little chit chat about June's book club pick, which was Spoiled Milk. As soon as I finished the last words, I closed the book virtually because I did this one in audio, and I had to think about it a little bit of, okay, what did I like about this book? Why did I keep picking it back up? Why was I excited to read it in the first place? Because there was just something nagging me in the back of my head that I just couldn't put my finger on that I did not like about this book. So anyway, before I start gabbing and chit-chatting about everything, I am going to start my spinning wheel and keep going on this. I just have this little bit here for the braid. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get all on this bobbin, but I'm just going to keep going and we'll see how far I can get. A thrilling gothic debut, The Ultimate Death of a Student at a Girls' Boarding School, marks the first in a haunting series of escalating supernatural events. All of that sounded amazing. And the fact that the cover is just incredibly stunning, it kind of matches my fiber too, with like the pink spilling over into the red. There was a lot of boxes that this book was checking off. So we have a gothic haunted tale at a boarding school in the 1920s. 1928 to be specific, with supernatural elements happening throughout the school and nobody really knows what's going on. So that just by itself, perfect, beautiful. I love everything about it. I want to know more. I need to turn it on too. That would help. There we go. So right away we jump in and we know the girls that we're going to be following for this. Emily is the main character that is kind of narrating everything, but the girls that are essentially in, I don't know, her dorm, I guess, those are the ones that we're following, kind of their stories, a little bit of their backstory, but really it was about Emily. Violet, the school's brightest star, falls to her death on her 18th birthday. So she falls from the balcony inside the school and nobody has any idea what happened. They don't think she was pushed. They don't think she fell. It would be kind of weird because she was super charismatic and like very graceful. She's not a clumsy person in any way, shape, or form, which, I mean, accidents happen for sure. But in the book, they were just emphasizing that was not the case. Something else was at play here. Can we give it up for this too? I know this is a lot thinner than the other one that I have already in Hank form, but I'm just kind of rolling with it because it's so pretty and I have it so consistent that, again, every Hank is going to be completely different. So back to the story. Emily is desperately in love with Violet, and that comes off very clear from pretty much the first chapter, but so is literally everybody else in the school. Everybody is devastated by Violet's death. Then after the funeral, the girls get together. One of them decides that they should have a seance to try to connect with Violet, just figure out if they can contact her, because they're all just very sad that they never get to see her again. They try once going out of their school, meeting with a medium. Ooh, that's getting too thin. And the medium does help, but it's not a convenient thing for them. Like, they can't be leaving the school this often. They think, you know what, let's just try it ourselves. Let's see if one of us could potentially be a medium, get things going. And this was just very taboo in the school. Some of them didn't want to do it, but pretty much collectively they were like, yeah, let's try it. We all want to talk to Violet again. So they start having seances. Things actually happen. That's the crazy part about this book, is I thought it was going to be one of those where there's like a supernatural element, but the seance, nothing was going to come of it. The girls were just going to like think things were happening, right? Like they thought they would hear noises or bumps at night. No, things actually start to happen. So after they'd have, I don't know, a couple, maybe one or two seances, they do end up talking to Violet. Actually, Violet. Very quickly after that, things start going very badly in the school. Their food starts going bad, hence the name Spoiled Milk, way quicker than it should. The walls have mold on it and it's growing at an alarming pace. Teachers are leaving left and right because they just don't feel like they want to stay there anymore. Or they'll say that they'll go out to do something and then they're just never seen at the school again. So something's wrong in the school, but we just don't know what it is. That is something that I feel they did excellent in this book. The supernatural element is not this big bad that we're waiting to see when we walk around the corner or like someone's gonna jump out and scare us. They don't share more than they need to. Sometimes when there's supernatural elements, things are over-explained of what is going on or what is spoiling the milk and the food and essentially the entire school in general. I was left with a lot of questions at the end that I'm okay were not answered. From start to finish, the book felt eerie, and that's exactly what I wanted from this. A gothic horror, a supernatural, I'm not gonna say thriller. I don't know that I would place thriller onto it at all. I don't know. Slow burn is also not the way to go about it because things did happen. Every single chapter, there was something going on, but you really had to be invested in the characters' backstory, and not even their backstory, just their day to day, wanting them and caring about them enough to make it out of this situation. I was always interested. I wanted to know what was going on with the characters, what is going to happen to the school, like where are we going with it. It was the fact that the characters were all young, and that's not inherently a bad thing because I do read a lot of YA, but I had to keep reminding myself that they were all under 18. So things that they would do and say pulled me out of the story, where there was this one character got mad because she's like, I thought you wouldn't tell. There's another one that got upset because they wanted all of Violet's attention to themselves and they thought she was her best friend and couldn't be anybody else's best friend. Just things like that. But when I step back and really look at it, it served a purpose that had to be there because we needed to feel that this was their home and they are under 18 living together, trying to figure out this situation essentially by themselves. Like they have no outside help. And very quickly we realize the teachers are not going to be much of a help to them either. So they're making these decisions that they don't have a lot of life experience to know the answers to, and just kind of hoping for the best. After I figured that out, that was why there was things that just kind of I didn't love about it, I was fully able to give it my review. 4.5 bat, almost would have been a 5. The middle just needed something a little extra to me. You felt every hour that they were sitting in their dorm just kind of chit-chatting and trying to figure it out, or like if Emily was sitting and reading because she was bored, I felt that. I would have liked a little bit more haunted action in it. Actually, my favorite part of this book was the ending and how they went about it, which I am very particular about endings. The ending can very easily ruin a book for me or drop it an entire star. This ending was so perfect. Like, I can't think of a better way to wrap this story up. It gave me just enough to be happy with the conclusion of the story. I don't feel like we need to restart the story again. The chapter is closed. The book was finished. When I read the very last sentence, I was happy with it. I did enjoy it in audiobook version, especially since it's set in the 1920s. It was fun to listen to the character Emily chit chat, and I felt like it added another layer of eeriness to the book for me as well. Moving on now, let's have a little chat about July's book club pick, and I am going to stop my spinning wheel because I have a paperback version of this one. Shut it off so it doesn't spin on me. Oh my gosh, I've done that before. Turn off the pedal, think everything's fine, set everything away, and then it starts spinning. It is a little bit touchy sometimes. You know that I am a sucker for sprayed edges, and this one, it just screams Summerween. It looks like a VHS tape. Sprayed edges with a knife, chainsaw, pair of scissors, all around it, and also the nice crimson red all over it. 2 severed thumbs up. We are going to be reading Slasher Summer. Fun, twisty tribute to the cult films of the 1980s, Slasher Summer shows that the real horror is never being able to escape who you were in high school. I just feel like there's a little bit of everything cram-packed into this. A love letter to the 80s, in the summer, at a camp. I mean, the picture alone. We have the friends, this ominous figure in the middle. 7 old friends reunite in the sleepy town of Cedar Lake at the remote cabin where the cult B movie Slasher was filmed. That sentence, everything. Done, done. I'm ready to start this tonight. A bloody Valentine love letter to slasher films that ask the question, what if the cast of The Breakfast Club ended up in the world of Scream? Although it does say with gory kills, suspenseful twists, which that's subjective, especially in horror. Twists and, oh, you're never gonna see it coming type of plots. If you read a lot of horror, that's very hard to accomplish. And if you can, that's amazing. 5 out of 5 bats for that book, definitely. Which, what was the one that I did give last Summerween? Breathe In, Bleed Out. That one, okay. If you need more to add onto your Summerween list, all I want from this book, there needs to be some sort of B movie element to this. I mean, we're referencing a B horror movie at a cabin, a secluded cabin nonetheless. I want there to be those type of tropes. I'm not going to be mad. Like, give them all to me. I think this book just really needs to lean into it for me to give it a 5 out of 5 bat rating. So there we go. Slasher Summer. That's what we're going to be reading together now. As we get a little bit closer to the 100 Nights of Halloween, I'm definitely going to continue to do our book club. If you like books coming out of the Yarn Dungeon, our little book chats that we have here, there's going to be more of that. Leave all your recommendations down below for me. I have quite a stack just sitting and waiting to go through. I did decide that I want to try to do at least one book a week. So that would be 15 books, counting down to Halloween. We're going to have to spend an entire day just going through all the books, picking out all 15. That was just my long way of saying, if you like horror books and you like chit-chatting about this here in the Yarn Dungeon, I'm going to have a very healthy list for you very, very soon, and we can just devour all the horror books together. If you want to join me and the rest of the Ghoul Squad, I have the link down below to Fable, and that gives you chapter by chapter. You can leave all the comments that you want in there, and you don't have to worry about it being a spoiler for you or you actually seeing spoilers from other ghouls. So yeah, come and hang out with me there for the entire month of July. Otherwise, that is it for me tonight. So have a super spooky rest of your evening, and I will see you back in the Yarn Dungeon tomorrow.